We're back. We're back. We're here. We are lagged out, ragged out, fragged out. But we're not dying. We're flying on a little. I guess that's neat. I don't know what that is. There is an event going on now, so it's a new mount. This is the Asmin cosplay I have here, so we'll call this the Steak Mount. For now, we'll get a better name for it later. But I hope everybody's having a good whatever day I put it on. Today is the coupon. Hitting you back with another solo quest action episode, action-packed episode. Because of course we're fighting bosses here. We always fight bosses in these episodes, but there's going to be some pretty good cutscenes, some pretty fun times. And everybody enjoys their small little section of the day that I've carved out for you here. Remember, it's just an MMO. Gameplay's not too crazy here, so I understand if you need me on the other monitor, or if you need me in your pocket and you just don't want to look at this amazing graphical quality, you know? You don't want like a peak cosplay perfection here either, you know? I don't blame you. It can be very distracting, and we have things to do. We have a life to get back to, you know? That certainly seems to think it's worth it. But to me it's not, and that's why I'm gaming all the fucking time. Anyways, guys, moving on. We're doing the story today, getting probably a little bit closer to the Storm Realm, Storm Tower area. I'm getting close to the end here. But this is the midpoint. This is when you really understand the essence of the Storm Realm, right? So essentially with the story, we're getting up here to see what's going on, and yes, it seems that our friends have betrayed us, essentially. They took the sacrifices, and they're actually using them for sacrifices, because we've gone all the way this time, you know? And they're like, you know what, guys, maybe the other people are right. Maybe uniting the realms is dumb. We just need this to drag a guy back, and we'll revive him, and then it'll be great, and then it'll be fantastic. So, essentially, she is trying to kill our friends for the greater good, and we kind of gotta stop that in a way that involves violence. But as always, we don't need to use violence in the main way we use violence, but you know, we'll be boss fighting all that cool stuff, guys. But we'll equate this to sort of course, you know, the analogies that I love to do here. We'll equate this to sort of the meta of the Storm Realm and how it really evolves you through, I'd say, just your general realm of progression through the internet. You know, it's just like you have to get more and more into the squabbles, into the battles, into the forcing yourself into a higher bracket of understanding, quote unquote, or at least it would be, because I feel like that's really why we're getting into arguments in the first place, just to understand things. If we were actually being productive, but a lot of people argue just for the sake of their ego. Because when you hear something enough times, it's repeated to you over and over and over again, then it becomes a belief just automatically. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong or accurate or not. It becomes a belief just because you've heard it, and then your ego attaches your personality, your faith, you know, a little bit of your essence to it. And then when somebody challenges it, to win, for your ego to stay alive, you have to fight it, and you have to, you know, sort of intellectually conquer it. But my guy, sometimes it's good to have a bad hair day, if you will, and kind of recede. Let the waters wash over you, because honestly, just letting someone go off, or just relinquishing in the fact that maybe you don't understand the full depth of the perspective at this very moment. You know, maybe you did at some moment, but you know, at all times, this is why I fucking hate the world, guys. This is why I fucking hate everything. Humans always disrupt the models we produce for the world. So no matter how many times you think you get it, just spending time outside of the bubble that you understand for a fraction, like you could go to the bathroom and then come back and things could change so much. It's happened to me. How many times have you I'm just gonna say you're an attractive guy right now who is also black. How many times have you, as an attractive black guy, been at a party, had to leave, go to a different room, come back, that girl that was really nice, really talking to you, really all over you, this is a whole nother room now. She ain't on you at all. She over here on this guy, or over here on this girl, or somewhere else, It can all change in a second, And essentially, the world is a giant Skinner's box of, will I give you bullshit or not? It's like I'm constantly giving you and not giving you bullshit at the same time. I'm constantly gossiping and gassing you up at the same time. And you will never know which one it really is. But that's how I constantly neurosis over things in life, because nobody's really going to not think or talk about you if they care. It's just naturally going to come out around friends, family, even in your mind. When you're talking just out loud or to yourself, that's really you just conversating with God and connecting there. So it's sort of like an ethereal thing. Whatever people have about you, that is your power, your social cred. But the world is teaching us to only view things through that lens. And we don't realize, hey man, you got your own motherfucking lens. This social cred thing, it's made up. It's a fucking... It's a concept that doesn't really exist. It's kind of like money. But that's what society's based on. That's what people want you to have, want you to chase. And if you don't, you look like some kind of weirdo, who's out here fucking taking fireballs to the face for no reason. But honestly, guys, if your goal in arguments is to learn more, is to understand more, you'll get why a lot of the best debaters don't really say much. They just ask questions. You'll see it in the comments. I see it all the time in the comments, man. Oh, the best debaters. There's just people who really deconstruct arguments and really listen to people. People just say shit. Honestly. And I feel like they sometimes don't listen to themselves. They just throw out these disgustingly hateful jabs for no reason. And I'm like, where did that come from? Are you hurting a little bit, sir? Sir, are you hurting? Have you not discovered how to acclimatize your pain? You're still trying to avoid it, aren't you? I understand that. We've all been there. Nobody likes pain, even the people who willingly go towards it. Nobody's unafraid of challenge, Nobody just exits out of anxiety. We all got the inside-out little characters in us. The thing is, guys, for males, generally, we are able to handle more stress and neurosis. So we can sort of compact that and deal with it later in different ways. And so you gotta use that ability. Why would you just, create different problems for other people and not willingly use yours? Because you have problems, man. I know that, because I got problems. We're all parts of the same coin, right? So I get it. It's very, 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 very easy to see other people's problems. As a matter of fact, oh my goodness, it's hard not to see other people's problems. Unless there's someone you really like. Unless there's someone really attractive who you think you perceive as having the social cred that you want, They go outside and they get everything I want, right? Totally. Sure they do, bud. Sure they do. And this perception is crazy because it can drive us to be crazy, insane, unhinged individuals. And we're over here thinking I'm totally justified. What do you mean I'm unhinged? What do you mean I'm unhinged? I'm justified. Because I, from my perspective, have clearly been wronged. So how can I not crash out? It would be ridiculous for me not to crash out when my injustice level is fucking off the charts right now, And that's the thing, guys. We can't be blinded by everybody else's horrible, disgusting, troglodyte problems. that we're not willing to look within ourselves and start, fixing our own, working on what we got going on. And I know everybody's like, I am working on it, I am doing what I do, but bro, let me be 100% clear. If you're in the storm realm still of the internet journey theory, and you've gone through your obsessions, you've gone through the spicy, the forbidden, whatever, you've gone through everything, and you're still in the storm realm, going on Reddit every day, arguing on Twitter every day, trying to make your opinions known, trying to make your voice heard on the internet. I'm like, what are you doing? There are way better ways to get your voice heard on the internet. The main way, I'd say, is to just fucking throw it out there. Who cares who you're talking to? Talk to God, please. I think the reason why there's so less hope here is because we have like a surface level explanation of what it is to be holy or spiritual or religious, But truly to get there, to do this self-love shit is to love our pain, love our struggle, and make that struggle into a heaven of sorts, because I, for one, really do like progression. I like horizontal progression. I like slowly building up through life. And often things in life don't really give us the progression that we want because it's either too slow or unseen and things like that. That's why a lot of people like video games. That's why a lot of people like internet and posting a lot, because you get number go bigger, bigger, bigger. Sometimes, if you actually make good content, if you actually understand how to develop things that people enjoy, which basically just means make it for you and then alter it slightly given what performs better. I mean, just like anything, what we're doing here is just making salads, making products, making things for people to enjoy. And just like anything else, I just know that you have to get a consistent, flow into it. And the love will come back to you. But oftentimes what happens is we get stuck in that storm realm, man. We can't get in that consistent just creation, just working with God and not worrying about how big number go, just worrying about doing the thing and finding heaven in the act of doing the thing. Sometimes, and this is it's rare when I even do this, but sometimes I really do have fun and have a flow of loving action and thought when I'm debating or arguing or squabbling with someone, even online, And I've told you guys multiple times, I really do hate texting. I'm more of a talking possum, because I tend to mull over written messages. I'd say slightly longer than the regular individual. Especially when I have to, write them and produce them myself, blah, blah, blah. I look into a lot of the inner details that really don't need to be looked into. But there are times when I just get into the flow of it, and I just feel good while doing things that I do not like. Just like texting, just like talking to people, just like, associating with certain activities, you know what I'm saying, that it may be detrimental to your health or whatever. There's a flow to it. There's a flow to it. Whatever you're doing, whether it be editing, fucking going to terrible jobs, driving, dealing with people's bullshit. People hate the randomest things. And you gotta be honest with yourself. I feel like oftentimes to fit in with the group, we kind of deny our likes and weaknesses and justices, and I think this contributes to the lonely generation too. The world is just pitting us against each other so that we don't want to be vulnerable enough to reveal our quote-unquote weaknesses or vices or what we're really good at. Because of this whole squabble realm, people get stuck here, and they're like, everyone's against me. The whole world, I gotta keep fighting, man. I keep fighting, and then eventually you start fighting your friends, you start fighting your family, you start fighting your fractals, and you got no one left. Anyone left. It's like I said, man, that's what contributes to the loneliness generation, I think, personally, because to truly be one with another, you have to be vulnerable. And a lot of people just don't have the skill of slow deliberation. I like to call it a little bit of storytelling because we all have a story. But oftentimes what happens is when you get to start to know someone or start to understand someone's essence, us guys like to release a lot. We like to, drop the Epstein files immediately, and just be like, fuck it, here you go. Here's 100% of my vulnerability because you said you wanted a little bit of it. And that's not necessarily how the opposite sex can do it. They can do it, they can take it, sure. But for them, they prefer to slowly release it over time. You gotta realize, guys, a lot of sex is just for women, and a lot of sex is just foreplay. It's all getting up to the big build. And that's kind of why I really wanted to grind the, I guess I still do, to grind the master of storytelling. Because I feel like understanding that will not only help me attract what I need into my life as far as telling my own story, but I feel like just helping the next generation understand how they can, alchemize and create a better story for themselves because it really is what we tell ourselves. We're gonna do what we're gonna be, who we're gonna tell, who we're gonna go to. It's what we tell ourselves, what the world's gonna be in 5 years. And what's scary about right now is that the storytelling skill is very vital because a lot of people have lost hope for the next 5-10 years, I've noticed. We've gained a technological boost, especially from like the 2010s, early 2000s, that has surpassed many expectations. I mean, of course, there's no flying cars. Well, actually, I think. Okay, hold that thought. I'll look that up for next video. But the thing is, guys, we are way farther ahead, and we don't really have solutions for problems that are definitely going to pop up here, or at least really good ones. I mean, who really is gonna have them in the next like fucking 5 seconds or so? So I don't really care. I find solace and happiness in just walking. Just gotta keep walking. Just gotta keep traveling, feeling out. And it's a little bit of a defeatist mindset. I understand that, it's like, it'll come to me. But life is not fair. So if you go at it destined to win, it's just like going into like a Counter-Strike match, being like, we have to win this one no matter what. I'm like, it's kind of like luck a little bit, guys. Like, it's not like we're solo queue right now. So that's what I'm saying, right? Like, and you have to realize where you come from, where you're going, and also be grateful. Like, a lot of people downplay the power of gratitude, because it doesn't feel like it does anything. It doesn't feel like saying thank you all the time will constantly produce any results, and you'll feel like a crazy person. Definitely, for maybe like the first year or so, after just constantly saying thank you and bending over like an idiot. But yeah, there's no reason to stop. There's no reason to reverse engineer yourself and start being an asshole. I'd say just do what I do, man. Just de-invest from other people's bullshit. And instead of saying thank you to everybody else for them doing nothing to you, say thank you to yourself because you did something for yourself. Ooh, yeah, life is really depressing now, so I hope you don't mind me squabbling with myself and my opinions for these last couple of version 3 episodes. I've been at odds, I've been at odds because, like I said, I really don't want to do anything but play Dragon Quest, and Someone said it's a problem. Someone said it's an issue, especially since I've usually been a lot of a gamer, a lot of an avid creative in things like that. But I don't know, man. I'm on the spectrum, so I feel like, you know, you just gotta feel it out, you know, do whatever feels right for you in this era of your life. And I'm liking the recording of things. I'm liking the written tablets of time, you know? The scriptures that I'm creating, the holy biblical Magicuba Bible, you know? So that being said, guys, I say a little prayer for you. Do not squabble too hard, you know. Please, please, look within yourself. Solve some inner problems, you know, before you externally squabble. I'd say drop a little sub, and I will see you next time.
I'm an emotional roller coaster. We're high so high I could put bowl on a poster. But when the bread gets low, like 4 loaves in a toaster, when the shoulders can get cold as 10 toes in Nova Scotia. Some days I hold a grudge, some days I hold a ghost. Some days I just ghost. Some days I'm supposed to. The crib feel like a gunfight, but them strollers, that's the holster. We could make amends over old memes and mimosas.